considered borrowing money while I'm young. I think ironically when you're older and you're at the top of your game, you get a lot more money and a lot more financial flexibility. When you're young, there are going to be financial barriers because you just don't have that kind of capability yet. And so I don't think we should be afraid of borrowing when we're young, because that's the only way we're ever going to get where we want to be.
I think borrowing money is something that you should definitely do if you need to when you're young.
I do have a student overdraft, but I try to tend not to use it. It doesn't feel right spending money that really isn't yours.
There's companies out there, for example, especially online these days, that will try and con you, which is something that, as we're young, we need to know more about and learn more about, because we can be quite vulnerable to these things. So if the more we know, the more safer we'll be.
You may see in adverts on the TV for payday loaners, and whilst it seems quite tempting to take out a payday loan, there are all certain strings attached and you end up getting possibly into more debt than you were. Good types of financial institutions, possibly those that are really helpful, that explain it out. I'd say banks, but not many of the main chains really.
I think credit cards are something that should be used with caution. They're a good idea if you've got a risky payment that you know you can pay back, because it gives you payment protection.
It's a good way of handling money, but then again it is hard to keep control, because you're not always, say for example when you go to a cash point, you know your balance, you know what's there. But with credit cards you tend to spend and you forget sort of how much money you have.
It's a lot more convenient than paper money, but you've just got to be careful really that you don't end up going on a bit of a binge.